Doctors told her she would never walk again. An unthinkable prognosis for an Idaho teenager badly hurt in a snowboarding accident. KBOI2's Denny Hawkins shows us how she's beating the odds and inspiring others along the way.
A lot of people stare and everything. That bothers me. It shouldn't, but it does.
The hop in Lexi Bingham's step is a sign of progress.
I'm really surprised, where I'm at.
Each step is something to be proud of.
If they knew my story, they'd, would probably be surprised.
Lexi's story begins like many other teenagers. She loves sports. Golf, basketball, softball, and snowboarding. Her accomplishments, noted by trophies stacked in her room, piled on top of each other.
Sports at that time was my life. I was like, oh man, my life is over.
That way of life took a major detour last winter.
I got in a snowboarding accident February 15, 2015.
Lexi landed wrong and thought she broke both of her arms and legs.
I was just laying there and I told my cousin, take my board off. And he's like, it's already off and everything. And I was like, I can't feel anything. And he was like, I was like, move my legs around and he's doing it. And I'm like, I can't feel anything.
Doctors in Salt Lake City delivered the bad news.
Your neck is broken C2 through C6. And I didn't really know how bad that was.
I knew the ramifications of what that meant. C2 to C6 in your cervical means you're not going to be breathing. You're a quad. You're not going to be doing anything.
Doctors told Lexi she'd likely never walk again. The thought, she says, felt like a death sentence.
I would get so mad. Sometimes I was just just let me die, just do this.
Her family struggled to stay composed as well.
That was hard because you never imagine your kids, that ever happened to your kids.
In all, Lexi spent 3 months in the hospital.
In our heart, it's just we're going to get through this.
Every day, the therapist would come in. They're like, oh, can you move anything yet? Can you move anything yet? Just no. And they'd always have me try. And one day I could move my toe. And, one of my therapists was freaked out.
Over the course of a few months, movement led to standing.
I stood up for 30 seconds and that was a huge deal and we were all cheering and everything.
And standing then soon led to walking. Yep, that thing she was never supposed to do again.
Because I said I'd be a quad.
But Lexi's story isn't finished. Now the teenager from the small town of Buell is lengthening her stride.
I can run, not up to speed or not, it doesn't look pretty, but I can run.
Now, months later, Lexi is getting back into the swing of things.
Oh.
And those who know her best say it's no surprise.
She's always been really bullheaded. If we told her she couldn't do something, she was going to do it.
As she improves, she's always maintained that little cocky, smart aleck attitude.
And on top of everything, she even survived a nasty car crash this fall.
I don't know how much more her guardian angel can handle with Lexi. We laugh, is she a cat?
Lexi hasn't gone through all 9 lives and doesn't plan to either. She says this one life is the one she plans to cherish.
Back then, I really did not want to live. I was I can't live without being able to walk or whatever. And now I'm glad that I didn't give up.
Her strides, her story, inspiring everyone around her.
We know for a fact that anything is possible.
Denny Hawkins, KBOI2 News.
There.
From here, Lexi wants to regain full mobility in the right side of her body. Running is a big goal for her, and by next fall, she hopes to climb Mount Bora.